Yeah, I said it. The Elektron Syntakt is basic as fuck. Speaking of basic, did y'all see what he did on that drum machine? Yeah, I can already see people in the comments section. Oh, it's not trap. It's not trap beats. I don't know, trap beats. However, I did create a beat using the MPC ONE as a sequencer for the Syntakt. Yeah, it wasn't one of my best beats. Matter of fact, it sucked. I know the immediate question for everybody is, can this thing hip hop? At least people that watch my channel all the time. Well, let's find out. Well, the obvious answer is yes. It has its own kind of flow, and that's what I like about it. The tones that come out the Syntakt, yeah, like they're worth your time at least. But what about other genres? So I tried my hands at doing something like some dance hall or something like that, just some type of rhythm, because I know there's people that, might want to try the groove box that has a different tone, but, want to see if you can stick to the guns that you're used to. And of course, you could do house beats on this. I managed to do a decent soulful house joint. Here's how it sounds. definitely want to cover some of the things about this unit right now. So I'll just start with the I/O. The I/O on this is pretty decent. It's practical stuff. The only caveat that I think is would be the fact that it doesn't have like a USB like Type A input, and that would be nice for a lot of the MIDI controllers that are out now. But you know, you can just get a MIDI controller that has MIDI out, you know. But other than that, you know, you have your output right here. They're both, of course, 1/4 inch ins, so left and right. Headphone jack, left in, left right in, and I don't know what that's used. Oh, well, that is used for when you want to host a external piece of gear, and then you have your 5-pin MIDI DIN in and MIDI out and through, and then your USB Type B to Type A. So if you want to plug it up to your computer, then you're cool. And then of course the power switch, and it is supplied with an adapter so you can have power, because this is not a portable unit despite its size. So a few things worth noting as I will just go ahead and initialize the project, and I'm happy that they have just like an initial project. Sometimes when you buy groove boxes, for some godforsaken reason, they don't have like an initial project. Bruh, I'm not gonna call them out, but it exists. But yeah, initializing the project, it goes in here. You have these yes and no buttons, and yes and no is how you would just confirm or get out of a menu. That is very important right now. You can see, and yes, it does have track mutes, and I like that a lot. So that is what mode I'm in right now: function, bank, and get it out of it. You know, those are things that you have to get used to. So you do have like different features in terms of like playing melodies, and it is monophonic per track. You can play different tracks polyphonically. Mind you that 1 through 12 are the tracks, and these last 4 tracks right here are the analog tracks, and these are the digital tracks. But back to the keyboard here, as I'm playing I believe track number 8. Oh, track number 7, my bad. So you can actually see all the information on the screen here as I mess up. But yeah, you can have different progressions that you can play. And it's not really difficult to play stuff in, as it's not difficult to program either. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. You get chromatic and a whole crap ton of scales if you aren't into playing scales or anything like that yourself. And it makes it a lot easier for you to work with. So the other thing I want to show you is this right here. Make sure that everything is on, because sometimes it do be tripping. So I got to get out of keyboard mode, of course. And so just laying stuff out there is 2 different ways to record. One is this right here, where you can just play something in there. You would have to go into track. So if I wanted to use the bass, and I'm not good at programming stuff this way, so but yeah, you can also press function and pattern, and it'll bring up the metronome, in which you can press function and pattern and hold it, and it'll bring up everything from pre-roll or stuff like that. So if you're used to an MPC workflow, that's cool too. So what I'm gonna do is just get back out for a second. I'm gonna turn this down so nothing is really distorted. Holy crap. And then I'm gonna exit out of this. Now there is a relevant mode as far as like live recording, but one of the things I had to get used to was that, because of quantizing. It by default, it does not quantize on beat, and that's cool, because when you do boom bap beats, you can do it that way. So I'm gonna record this in. I'm gonna press and hold record and press play, and you can hear it's kind of off beat. Of course, you can press the record button again and do an edit, but if you are not into editing into a sequencer that's very similar and obviously an ode to the TR-808, you can go into, I believe, function and quantize, And you can set the global quantize, you can set the quantize per track too as well. And you can hear now it's latched on a whole lot easier. And that is very suitable for this workflow. You also have other things too as well. Like you have tones, you have chords, you have bits, which have like this 8-bit vibe to it. And then you have like a toy sound. Also, you can go into the synth engines and change those on the fly. Just double tap usually. You can just press function and machine to go in there. And then you can pick different ones. You have tone too. So, you know, that one will probably be more or less great for bass. So that's one of the things about it. And the bass is mad heavy on this joint. Like, I swear, it's probably one of the heaviest bassy, I don't know, digital analog type vibes that you can get on the market right now. And that's the other thing too. People are complaining about the price point, but man, dude, you have amplitude, filters, and sometimes you can double tap and get into another screen just to edit them. And yeah, you can set up your reverbs. Your reverbs are send only. You can't just put them on, well, you can put them on per track, but you have to send it to your reverb. So you got to be conscious of how you make those decisions. So if I wanted to, I got on the clap here, I'm going to go ahead and press track and then press the track button, 1 through whatever. And then I'm going to go and assign it. So function, reverb, and amplitude. And then you can assign the reverb. So when I play the sequence back, you can see that it's not on the bass drum, but if I put it in the bass drum, you can do that, and there's a delay. Don't stop. Rock, play it. Yo, a lot of people have been talking about this just being for techno. It's for whatever you can imagine. And you just got to look at this with a grain of salt. This is not supposed to be like an MPC or anything like that. Though I do favor this workflow more so over the MPC, just for the sense that a lot of people, even though I think the MPC is very simple, a lot of people don't think it's simple. So that's the only thing that I can say in that sense there. You do have a way to set up like your track lengths and stuff. You can do it polyrhythmic. You see function yes per track, so you can set it up polyrhythmically. Everything that correlates with these parameter knobs are on the screen. So yeah, I could just go and dial in. See, it says E, so I'm messing with the E parameter, and 64 is the max length. You can change the scale, like the speed of it, and exit out. Again, that's one of the charms of this unit. So let's say this is one of the default sounds here. It's just usually like that, but you also have different scales too. So you're not limited to seeing that it is monophonic per track, and you can't play chords on there. They have a chord mode, and it just fits the workflow of like the model cycle. So if you're used to the model cycles, then you'll probably get used to the Syntakt as well. And I recommend checking out the model cycles too if you are trying to get into a workflow, but you don't want to spend like $1,000. I think that the model cycles is a really good buy in that sense. Of course, you can adjust the tempo and stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of the thing about this unit. It's not very difficult to navigate. At first, it might be a little bit overbearing, but it's not.
Do I give this the stamp of approval?
It goes without saying, it left a huge impression on me, and I would say about 90%. Damn good job, Elektron.